Hello everyone, welcome to my tutorial class, Sam&Beth. My name is Wally. Today we are going to be talking about how to construct a double pointed dart and a burst dart. For you to be able to construct a double pointed and a burst dart, you need to get your pattern ready, and having gotten that ready, you need to get all the measurements that you need also ready. The first thing you need to consider after you've gotten the pattern ready is the nipple to nipple measurements. And the nipple to nipple is measured by measuring from one nipple to the other. Whatever you get, you are going to divide it by 2, and that is what you are going to use. So in this aspect, the nipple to nipple of this individual is 8 inches, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So you come to this part, center front, measure 4. Come down also and measure 4 inches. Then you draw a straight line, connect those points with a straight line. Connect the points with a straight line. Then you come to this place also and do the same thing. You measure 4 from center back. This is the center back, and then you connect the point you mark with a straight line. So after that, you need to get the burst points. The burst points, to get that, you measure from the neck to the nipple points, to the points where you have the nipple. So, and then for this individual, the nipple point is 11 inches, and then we had half an inch. So from this point, you locate the burst points. The burst points, we have to just consider it like this because this is not a standard measurement for a person. It's on the board, and the board is small. So the burst points of this is found at this point, and then please draw a line to have a burst line. The reason I need to draw this is because I need to construct a burst point, and I'm going to consider it from this line. And having done that, there is a principle that guides darting, and the principle says that the apex of the darts, will be pointing at the prominent part that you want to emphasize 1 inch away from it. So in the aspect of this, the prominent part that you want to emphasize in the cloth is the burst point, and is the burst area, the burst. So from that point, you move away 1 inch from the burst point. So we have the 1 inch here. This is the 1 inch point. And also, the area that you are not emphasizing, you move away from it by 2 inches. So the that apex will be pointing at these hip points 2 inches away from the hip line, because at the front you don't have any prominent here. It is just flats. Where you have prominent is the back pattern, because that's where you have the buttock. So applying the principle here, you are going to move away from the hip 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. And here we don't have the bust here, so we don't need to mark the bust points on this line. All you need to do is just to move away from the bust line by 2 inches. You move away from it 2 inches. 2 inches away from here, whereas this part is 1 inch because we are emphasizing that part. This one also is 2 inches. So the next thing to do is to mark, the suppression. Here we say what we want to suppress from the waist is 4 inches. Remember that while drafting the pattern, you must have considered that thing, that allowance, that 4 inches in the pattern. So whatever you had, you take off. So here, 4 inches divided by 4 is 1. So we'll be marking 1 inch here. I'm sorry, half an inch here, half an inch here, and everything will be 1 inch. Here also you mark half an inch here, half an inch here. Then the next thing to do is to construct the dart. So here we have the first dart, and then the second one that makes it a double pointed dart is the one you construct from this part, connect to the waist. Connect to the waist. Then come to this part also. So I've constructed the double pointed darts. So the next dart that I'm going to construct is the bust dart. The bust dart, from this bust point, you move away from this point by half an inch. Then you mark another half an inch that will form the middle of the dart, and then another half an inch. So from here to here, you move away, you give a space half an inch. Then you have this 3.123. This one is the middle point. So the middle point, draw a line to connect to the bust points, and then on this bust point, you apply the principle of darting that I told you about. You move away from it, from this bust point by 1 inch. And thereafter, you construct the dart, the bust dart. So we have our bust darts. So don't forget, it is very, very essential that you consider the principle that I told you about. The principle says that the apex of the dart should be pointing at the prominent part 1 inch away from that prominence. So the prominence here is the bust, and we move away from the bust point by half an inch. But here, because there's no prominence here, we move away from the hip 2 inches. Whereas at the back, the prominent part is the hip, because this is where we find your buttocks. So you move away from it 1 inch, but here there is no bust here. What we have here is just a flat back. So you move away from the bust line 2 inches, and then you construct your darts. I hope you enjoyed this class. In the next tutorials, we are going to be talking about how to construct a princess dart, and then in the next class we talk about how to construct a bustier dart. And then by the time you compare the two, you'll be able to appreciate the difference between a princess dart and a bustier dart. Thank you for watching. God bless you.